Hello everyone, Ember Power here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one I'm going to be going over some new reveals from Scarlet and Violet. So, they basically revealed a bunch of trainers from the set who obviously pulled from the main games, as well as some confirmed reprints, so that's pretty cool. So just getting into some of the reprints that we've seen. The new Jock supporter is just completely different, it's like its own thing, so that's not necessarily a reprint. But Nest Ball is going to be a reprint from Sun and Moon base set, so for those of you who don't know what this does, essentially just search your deck for basic and put it onto the bench. Ultra Ball that we've seen more recently is getting a reprint. Crushing Hammer, I know some people really don't like Crushing Hammer, but I'm like on the fence with it. I don't mind it personally, but yeah, not the worst card to have around and can definitely help in certain decks. Energy Search, I'm like meh on, to be honest. I'd rather have Professor's Letter if I'm going to be perfectly frank with you guys, to be honest. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Energy Search, but either way, Pokemon Catcher, it is what it is, kind of been around for down centuries now. And then the Professor's Research reprint. So then, just getting into new cards, we have Penny over here. Penny says, return one of your basic Pokemon in play, or cards attached to it to your hand. So you're not discarding any resources, you're just simply picking up a basic and everything attached to it. Obviously, you're resetting your energy, but is going to be picking up damage counters. So if we get any big basic EX Pokemon that are prevalent in the format, then this could be a good option. Of course, we are losing Scoop Up Net to the rotation, so in theory, you could say this is a nice option for Lost Zone Comfy decks, but I think it's maybe a wee bit too slow in that regard, so probably a better card for big EX Pokemon that we'll probably see somewhere down the line that are pretty competitive. We also see the Jock supporter that says, search your deck for up to 2 evolution Pokemon and put them into your hand. Not a bad effect, honestly. Problem is we have other supporters like Azura, and then there's Marnie and Research. Well, we won't have Marnie for much longer, but you know, we will have better supporters as time goes on, I think, so I can see this having limited use. However, in something like Arceus Gardevoir or Palkia Barrel, if they became prominent decks, I should say, post-rotation, then maybe this could be okay to find both the V-Star and an evolving Pokemon, because this is one less than Azura, but it will find a V-Star or a Stage 1 or Stage 2 EX. So, not the worst supporter to have around in the format, but yeah, nothing too crazy there. We also see Arvin says, search your deck for an item and a Pokemon tool card. Tool cards now are, of course, classed as their own separate entity, so they're not really regarded as items, which is, I still find that's a little bit strange, but either way, not a massive deal. But still, being able to find an item in a tool card, I mean, if they plan on buffing tool cards because they're essentially harder to use now, they're not really classed as items, then I think this could be a pretty good supporter somewhere down the line. You know, being able to find an item that can boost your consistency, as well as being able to find a tool card potentially to give your Pokemon less retreat cost, more HP or something. You know, I could see Arvin being, you know, pretty good down the line. So yeah, I do like Arvin in that regard. We also see Stone Breastplate says damage done to fighting Pokemon this card is attached to is reduced by 30. So a bit of a strange artwork. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of this. But either way, fighting Pokemon taking 30 less, pretty cool. It's kind of like a pseudo buff to the Koraidon EX that could end up seeing a bunch of play because it has a powerful ability, Dino Cry. So that's like the most obvious partner I can see with Stone Breastplate. I mean, we have seen trainers like this before in the past that don't really have much of an impact, but always something to bear in mind if fighting types ever got any really good cards. So pretty cool to see that. And then we see probably one of the most broken cards we've seen in a long time. Electricity Generator says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 basic Lightning G cards, and attach them to your bench Lightning Pokemon in any way you like, then shuffle the remaining ones back in. So for those of you who remember, Max Elixir back in the day said, look at the top 6 cards and accelerate a basic energy to one of your benched basic Pokemon. This is 2 energy. It is on the top 5, not the top 6. But still, being able to accelerate 2 energy and just giving you that much tempo and put yourself ahead in the game seems uber broken to me. I'm not sure like why they're giving Miraidon, especially Miraidon's lightning. So what you can do is just use Miraidon to find 2 more basics, then Electricity Generator to one of those Pokemon, potentially at 1 or 2 energy, and then you can very easily, I would say, get Donks going second. There's obviously different partners for this. You could use this with Flying Pikachu, Magnezone V-Star, just to name a few. So Very powerful card. Not sure I'm a huge fan of the design philosophy here. I know they were trying to slow things down a little bit, I thought, with the EX mechanic and the terrestrial effects, but because a lot of these supporters seem like they want to slow things down. I mean, Penny's going for like a 2-hit KO and then your retrieval. Jock is just setting up your evolution board. Arven is minimal search. Stone Breastplate is making more tanky. All these trainers seem to like fit a theme of having a slower game, and then Electricity Generator comes along and says, yeah, wouldn't it be funny if we had a better Max Elixir in the format, which is, it seems really strange to me. I'm not sure where they're going with this. Be curious to see if fighting types therefore become so much better because Lightning gets another buff, but just seems crazy to me. Like, the fact this is just potentially 2 energy acceleration on an item. Like, think about Mirage Gate. That accelerates admittedly 2 different energy, which is arguably better than just 2 Lightning, but Mirage Gate accelerates 2 energy and has to have the effect of sending 7 cards to Lost Zone. This is just a playable item that you can play going second on the first turn of the game. Or just on the first turn of the game, sorry. So like, it just seems like a really crazy broken card. I'm not really sure what the plan is. Again, I just don't know. I'd love to know what your thoughts on the new cards are though. So do let me know what you think down below. Obviously the new Crushing Hammer and Nestball reprint is pretty cool. But beyond that, yeah, it's been our power. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.